Hello. Hi everybody. I'm not sure who's joining me tonight. It's nice to be back. Hello. Let me know if you're there. Hi Rebecca. Lovely to have you join me. I hope you're well. Have you got your pencils out? Are you just going to be watching? Hi Louise. Lovely to have you join me. It's been a really long time. I can't even remember the last time I did a Facebook Live. But here we are. Hi Melanie, how are you? Oh, thank you Rebecca. It's nice to be back. I do have a little bit of nerves on me though. I'll relax into it, I'm sure. If you stop doing it, it's like starting again, isn't it? Hello Carol. Hello Marie. And hello Heather. Thank you. It's lovely to be back. It's lovely to have you join me tonight. It's going to be nice just sitting, relaxing and drawing a little bee, isn't it? Right. So tonight what you need is an A5 sheet of paper. You can do it on A4, whatever size you like, or in a little journal. I'm just using extra smooth white card like this. And the pencils I'm using are Faber Castel Polychromos, but of course use what you like. And I haven't given you a list of the pencils because not everybody has the Faber Castel and they're all different colours. But what I'm using is a selection of browns, and I'll tell you as I'm doing it what colours. So if you have just a handful of browns, as long as you've just got a few tones, then that's fine. You don't have to get wrapped up in what colours they are. I've also got a selection of creams, yellows, oranges, and some blues and a white. Yeah, so if you want to grab, if you are going to colour alongside me, if you just want to grab a few shades of yellows, oranges, blues, and a red if you like, and of course all those browns that I showed you. I'll tell you what they are as I'm using them in case you want to do it later. I'm also, you don't have to, but if you want to, if you have got a little glittery gel pen, it's quite nice to use that in the wings, and a fine liner. And apart from that, all you need is your normal HB pencil and a rubber. If you are a crafter and you have some little gems, feel free to bring them out. But apart from that, it's just a case of drawing a little bee. Now I've done this one on an A5 sheet of paper to give you an idea of what size it is, but I'm not going to do it as big as that tonight because I want to colour as much as I can with you. And you know that it takes hours to get all those layers on. And what I did was a little bee alongside Dignity in the Heartfelt Girls, and I'll show you how you can do that as well at the end. I'll just draw the bee out and show you how you can change her arm and things, but the main thing we're going to do is drawing and colouring our bee. So, hi Laurie, how are you? Thank you, it's nice to be back, I think. I forgot how stressful it was, but never mind, here we are. Right, so with our HB pencil, let me just get a clean sheet of paper. Hopefully the light's okay. Is the light okay, everybody? I'm just in my kitchen, on my kitchen table. Hopefully everything looks okay. Right. So this will be, it'll be live on my page for an hour. Then it's going off here. It'll be in my group, my Drawing and Creating with a Dash of D group, for 24 hours if anybody wants to catch up on it. And then after that, it'll be going onto my website, and it's free access for my subscribers at any time. Right, let's go with our pencil. I'm going to start, so just off the centre. It doesn't really matter where we are on the page, as long as you can imagine that you're going to have space for your wings up at the top, and your bee's eye will be around about here and the legs coming down. Yeah, so don't go over on the side, try and stay in the centre if you can. Right, we're going to do a little bit of an oval eye. So just, now you can change As you know, I'm always rubbing out. I don't just draw it and it's the way I want it to be. I'm always rubbing out, so don't get wrapped up in your first marks. I always say that. So we've got our little oval, and then coming off there, just off the side there, we're going to come up, mirror that eye, like so. And this is going to be the bee's head. And this is us coming up now and doing the body. So coming up round. And we can stop maybe about there for now. So it's a bit, if you turned it on its side, looks a bit like a number 9 at the minute. Let me know if I'm going at the right pace for you as well. Now off his eye, we're going to do a little squiggle. Just like so. And then underneath his eye, we're going to start doing his body. So just a little bit coming round here. And if you imagine, that's where his leg's going to go. So we're coming around, creating a bit of a body. And then we're going to start coming around the corner a little bit. And then the rest of his body is coming down. Now he's going to have a little bit of a sting in his tail. So I'm just going to put a little bit of an arrow there. And then join this up with the rest of his body. So that's the basic kind of shape for now. Once you've got that, if you want to change it and make his body fatter, then just go around, make him bigger, whatever you want to do. You don't have to stick with your first lines. Now we're going to give him a bit of a leg. So in this area here, if we just have a bit of a line coming out, and then it's going to come down quite long and then curl around, coming into a peak. And if we come back up, we can start to join up his leg by just doing a little bit that's coming in, and then a little bit coming out and round again, and then coming in to join in with that loop, not loop, but hook, I've called it. And now he needs another leg, so that's going to be down around about here. Yeah, so if you just imagine, that's going to be a little bit of a shadowed area once we start colouring. And then we'll have a little bit of his leg come out here. And then a bit coming down here. So it's a bit like a squiggle. And then this leg's going to be longer than the other one, so you're bringing it down but into the point, just like that one. And then we're going to join up his leg here. So just some little squiggles, and then coming in, bringing it in to come in so that it's got that little hook there. How are we doing? Has everybody got this far? Oh, hi Andrea. Oh, thank you. It's nice to be back. I've missed you all. You've been so patient with me. I've had quite a rough time lately, but it's nice to be back. Right, now we're going to do his stripes. So if we start maybe around about here, just put in a line and just work out where you want your stripes to go. And then just come down. And then I'm not going to come down to the bottom of his body. Oh, you'll hear a cat. That's Oreo. She's always very vocal. So that's your first stripe. And then if we maybe do one around about here. So just coming in and around. And like so. Now at this point, if you think, oh, I want his eye to be a bit bigger, you can do that. Just make his eye a little bit bigger if you like. We'll do his wings. So just find a spot on the top of his back at the centre. And then we're going to come up. Now you can do them as small or as big as you like. This is where you can get really come into your own. And you're basically just doing it like the shape of a leaf. coming in like so. I would probably do that a bit fatter. If I was on my own, I'd probably rub that one out and do it again. And then in the centre of that wing, if you want to bring a little line up there, and then just imagine your wings coming out to the side. There. How's that? Has everybody managed to get the outline of a bee? Right, now for the fun bit. Let's start colouring it. Right, I'm going to start with the eye and use a black. And if you wanted to mark out your sparkles with your normal pencil, that's fine. If not, you can use your black. Now I'm just going to draw a sparkle that goes a bit like, so a bit like a kidney bean, I suppose. And then we'll do another one a bit triangular up in the corner there, and you can maybe do another one down the bottom, a little round one. It's up to you. Right, so if I know that everyone I've seen so far is all my regular ladies that join me quite a lot. I don't know if there's anybody new there, but if you are new, I always say to go very, very light and do little circular motions. If you practice on the side of a piece of paper, being really light and then changing your pressure to get it really, really dark, then you'll start to see the difference in how you can lay down your pencil. So if you get it really, really light, then you're able to layer it up. So there we've got a very, very faint layer of black. And at this point, if you think you want your eye a bit bigger, a bit rounder, whatever, just use your black to do that. And then once you've done that, you can start to add more layers just by continuing to go over till it gets really, really dark. And then eventually, once you've got a few layers down, you can burnish it by pressing down really, really hard and getting that shine. And then just continuing with that, with all of the eye. Getting it as black, you want it to be as black as night, really. And then it starts to, do you see how different it is when you start to press down? And it starts to make the eye look like a marble. It starts to look really shiny, like glass. So yeah, you can continue with that, but we'll get some more layers in. So we'll come off the eye now, but you know to make that, keep going in and darkening that up as much as you can. Right, so the next colour I'm going to use is this one, which is burnt ochre. So it's a bit of a golden kind of tone. So whatever pencil you've got that's close to that. Do you need me to bring it down a little bit? Hopefully you can see okay. Sometimes if I go too close, it starts to blur when I put my pencil in. Hopefully that's okay. Right, so from the black, with this burnt ochre, start to go right round the outside of the eye. Just little circular motions, just being a bit of a mirror, going around the shape that you've already done. And I'm not bringing it out overly far, but it's up to you. And then once you've done that, if you go in right into where the black is and burnish it like what we did with the black, so you've got a little bit that's still got a little bit of faint ochre, but when you go right into the black, if you start to press in hard, then and burnish it, then it just sets the eye off really nice. So that's that bit. Right, now we're going to get like our creamy colours. So like all the ladies that come to my classes and things, you know that I always start with the lightest and then build up to the darkest. So I'm going to go with the cream and start putting a little bit of colour into the stripes. So again, nice and light, just getting your first layers down and just colour in that stripe. Now you can find a little area that you want, if you want to have mostly white, just to avoid colouring a little bit, but then do the rest of it and then do the same on the other one. For this bee I've only done 2 stripes, but you know, if I'd come up further I could have done 3. It's up to you. You could maybe do another little one down here. You don't need to worry about it too much, how many stripes you've given him. Put another in there. No, I'll just go with 2 for it's having enough time to colour it all, isn't it? Because you know, there's a 1:15 already. So after we've done the cream, I've got quite a small dark chrome yellow. And then I'm going to just go over the top of the cream, starting at the top and working my way down, still keeping it nice and light so that we can continue to keep building up nice layers on it. And then I'm going to have it quite light at the bottom, so I'm only putting a little bit of this colour in the bottom, so there's mostly the cream, a little bit of the white, and then mostly the chrome yellow, and then the same on the other side. I wish I had given it 3 stripes now. I'm going to put in another little stripe. I'm just going to do a little one. Where will I do it? Just here. I just feel like I want it to have 3 stripes. So I'm just going to draw another one in there. And then go back and do the cream in that one as well. So if you leave a little area that's at the lightest going right through the centre, then that's when you'll start to make him look like he's got a little bit of a shine going through, and you'll help to make him look round and plump. So if you just keep that in mind when you're doing your colouring. And so the same, back to the chrome, the dark chrome yellow just to do there. Hello Maria, how are you? It's nice to have you join me. Right, now I'm going to go for the dark cadmium orange. And we're going to just do the same again. Just always starting at the top and working our way down, as it's going to be lighter at the bottom and darker at the top. So if you just keep starting at the top and then letting your colours blend into the ones you've already done, then you'll start to see your bee building up. Is everybody okay? Am I going at the right pace? I know that some people just want to watch, some people want to colour alongside me. And then same on the other stripe. Let me know if you are colouring alongside. And if you have any questions, I'll try and read them, and if I do miss anything that you say, I'll come back later on or tomorrow and reply to you. Right, let's get some browns in now. So if whatever browns you've found, whatever one is the lightest. So I think my lightest is probably the Bister. I've got 2 of them out. So I'm going to go for Bister to start. And then again, starting at the top, keeping it light. And what I might do is just concentrate on this sort of area and the legs and the wings. I might forget about colouring all of them so that I've got enough time to show you as much as I can. So, hi Pat, and Heather, you're colouring, and Marie, you're colouring as well. Lovely. I like to know what you're all doing. So keeping it nice and light and coming around that bit where we did the ochre and just getting it darker around there so that starts to pop a little bit. And coming down to the bottom and just getting that first layer in. So I'm going to concentrate just on this bit here, and then you know when you're doing the rest, if you're going to do it after the live, you can just colour it all the same. So there we've got the first layer in. Now I'm going to be mindful that this bit here is going to be a little shadow in here. My pencil just broke. So I'm going to make it a little bit darker around here for now, and then start to come down onto the leg. And I'm going to have it that there's white coming down the side here, so between where your pencil line is and where you're starting to do your brown, just be mindful of leaving a little area that's going to have a little bit of white. And then same at this side, so I'm going to colour it just there, and then there's a little bit of white coming through. Do you see that? Okay. Just a little bit of brown going down where the pencil line is, and then some white in the centre. And then letting the dark come all the way round to where it hooks off. And then we're just going to keep layering up the colours there as well. So now you can continue with this brown if you like, and just keep adding more layers, but what I like to do is just bring in loads of different shades of brown. So I'm going to go for a darker one now, and I'm going to go for, let me just think, let's try to see in this light. What's that one? I want the walnut brown kind of last. So burnt umber is the next one that I'm going to use. And then do the same again, starting at the top. And just keep going over the top, keeping it light. And at the very end, once we've got lots of layers of different browns on there, we can press down hard and burnish it, and it just makes it nice and vibrant. So coming all the way around where that umber was, and then in here. Now, to make it look like his body's round, you can do little movements like when we do the lips, so little hooks that go up. So just going from the line and up and round, getting that kind of round sort of motion, then that starts to make it look like he's quite fat and that his body is in fact round. And then just circular motions to blend that in. Can you see that? And you would do that all the way around this bit. And then if you've got your black handy, just to emphasise this bit here that's going to be a shadow, just put a little bit of black in there just now. And then come back to your umber and start to darken up his leg. Make that it's got a little bit of a shadow there. So if it's at its darkest, right there, just underneath, and no white between that line and where your shadow's coming down, you'll start to make it look like his body's coming over his leg a little bit. And then if you have it darkest on this line, so if you want to do your pressing down hard to burnish it here, just to get that line, and then just softly blend a little bit of colour out from that line out into the rest of his leg. Now if you want to use, you can use your black or brown. I'm going to use the walnut brown just now, if I can find where I put it. Is that it? Yeah. And do some little lines. So if you do a little line here, say, just there on that, going in that direction, and then another one maybe there. It starts to look like the little grooves in their legs that they get, and do the same on the other side once you get going over there, and then just continue to keep darkening that up on his leg. Right, let's get another shade of brown in. What time are we on? 25 past, so we're all right. So the walnut brown, so whatever your darkest sort of brown is. If you have like if you've got sepia, dark sepia, or a really dark grey, it almost looks kind of browny. It's a really good one at the very end. So if you have that, it's quite a good one to have to make them really dark. So now with the walnut brown, going over where we've already been and keeping it really, really dark up there on that line where you've done with your pencil. Keeping it darkest and no white between there and your B starting, so that he looks like he's round. How we doing? And then just continuing. Oh, thank you, Ian. You're too kind. I hope you're well. Ian is an old friend from my hometown that seems to have popped in to say hello. Thank you, Ian. So just keep darkening it up. And again, where we've created that little bit to make it round, just keeping it at its darkest. Now if you do little swoops that come up like so, then you can start to emphasise this little bit that we did at the very beginning round his eye. Right, what I'm going to do now is start doing his wings. And it's nice as well if you want to put some brown in the eye as well. You can add loads of different shades in there and make his eye give it a little bit more interest, a little bit more depth. And then darkening it up. We've obviously got loads more layers to do on both the brown and on the yellow, but we'll start doing a little bit in the wings. So if you have a really pale blue, mine is the light cobalt turquoise, but whatever one you have, and then just very faintly starting to add a little bit of colour in his wings. And so I do it kind of blue to about there, 3/4 of the way up. Not 3/4 of the way up, 1/4 of the way up. That would be 3/4 of the way up. My it's not my forte numbers. And then all the way around the outside of the wing, just keeping it nice and light, just sort of emphasising the shape of the wing. And then doing the same at the other side. And then if you have this one that we used at the beginning around his eye, the burnt ochre, make sure it's really sharp. Mine could have done with being a bit sharper, but if you then, in the centre of the wing, just keep it nice and light, but just do a little bit of a line going through the centre, and then maybe a little squiggle coming along the top. And it's up to you. You can do loads of little patterns up there, or you can just do maybe some other lines going up. And then do the same on the other wing. So maybe from here, coming out. Now I'm going to eventually use my little gel glitter pen on that. And then another little line, perhaps there. with some more lines going up. So if you keep it nice and light, then you've got more control. And then if you have your cream again, just in the centre where we've got it left it white, I'm going to start going round with the cream, just round the outside. So there's the blue, then the cream, and then it's going to be white right in the middle. So just going round where I've been with the blue on both the wings. And then if you have a darker blue, I've got the Phthalo blue, and I did sharpen it before I started, but it doesn't look very sharp. Let me just sharpen it a second. There we are. So then at the bottom, having it at its darkest, so using this Phthalo blue, just little circular motions, but leaving little spaces in between. So it's kind of like squiggles more than solid circular motions. So you've got a little bit of detail starting to come in his wings, but having it really dark right on his back. And you can also do the little lines, so if you just very faintly do little lines coming up over the top of that, keep it nice and light. And then if you just want to maybe darken up right on the tip of his wing, just some little squiggles coming in, so having it really dark right on the line, but then just every now and again bring in a little squiggle. And the same on the other one. So hopefully if you are drawn alongside me, I'll get to see what you've done in the group. It'd be lovely if you share them. It's nice to see what you've done and hear how you got on. So you can continue with that, keep darkening them up. And then if you do have a brighter yellow, so I've got cadmium yellow, you can just every now and again, in different spaces, just put in a little splash of that dark yellow. So just random sort of places. And then it just gives a little bit of a glisten. I'll come back to his wings, we'll do some more layers. I'm going to get some more colour into his stripes. So I'm going to use the dark cadmium orange and start again at the top. Do you see how you can just, every time you go back in, you get an extra layer on there and it just becomes brighter? Now you can take some of that orange over into the brown as well if you like. It's quite nice. I'm going to put a little bit of brown in the centre now, so go back to whatever your lightest colour was. I used the Bister, just to try and get a little bit more of them coloured in. See, he's a lot smaller than the original one. Do you see the size difference? But you know how long it takes, don't you? And I want you to get as much of it done with. So after this, you can go back and draw a bigger one, or you can do the little one with Dignity, which I'm going to show you how you can, if you do have my Heartfelt Girls, show you how you can do that. So I'm just kind of leaving a little bit of an area that's a little bit white, not completely white, but it's going to be that it's going to have that shine going through the centre. Yeah, I've gone quiet. I've gone quiet now. I've zoned out. I've gotten lost in the colouring. Jackie, what are you saying? What do you use for pencil sharpening? Okay, Jackie, I use this one. It's called a jacquard, and it's one that you can attach to your desk, and you sharpen it like that. And luckily, I've just emptied it. Usually, it's full, so I can put a link in. I don't know where I got mine, but it's really good. I swear by it. It's been really good for me. I always found the little hand ones really hard work, and I'm always sharpening pencils, so I just got a good one. I can't remember how much it was, but I'll put a link in to let you see. I hope that helps. So just continuing with the layers. And just keep on darkening up, going back in and having it at its darkest at the top and at the bottom here, and then it starts to look round. Now you can use the little motions I showed you to try and create that illusion of round just by starting on the line and coming in with little lines, and then softening it up by going over the top with your circular motions. And same here. Now here, I know I said I wouldn't colour in this bit, but I want to, because I want to do his little stinger. So if I just quickly get a little layer in here as well. And then go back to whatever your next shade was. And our one was, if I can find it again, this one, the burnt umber. And then starting in here, right on the line, just darkening it up. What time of it? It was 25 to. And then having it darker at the bottom as well. And remember, this is going to be shadowed, so I won't colour in this leg because I want to show you how to draw them with dignity. But hopefully you get the idea from that leg that we've just done. Do you use that sharpener, Heather, as well? Yeah, I think I got mine from Amazon. And it's good if you're using a lot of pencil work. So if you have a black, we can get his little sting in. So just starting at the tip and then just little swoops up. And having it really, really dark, burnishing it. You can go in with that as well with a fine liner to really blacken it if you like. Now, if you have this one, what's that one? Burnt sienna. Sorry, the light's awful in here. This has got a nice reddy tone in it, this one, so it's quite nice. I'd like to put this round about the bottom here, just to get this sort of area to look, just to give it a different tone, really. And then blend that in. I always take whatever colour I bring in, I always take it into whatever colours I've been using to help it to flow. It looks more cohesive, it doesn't look like a block. So there he's got a nice shiny bottom. If you want to give him a little heart, like what I do there, that's just a fine liner and just drawing on there. I can do that if you want me to. If not, you can just leave him as is. But if I can just spin him around a little bit, just draw a little heart there. And if you want to do little circles and then colour it in, so it's more like a button heart. I like giving them a heart, just to keep them going there. And if you want to do your fine liner on the tip of that little sting, and also in his eye, if you want to come round the outside, every now and again, if you just do it every now and again, it starts to look really shiny. So, and then if you just have it all the way around that outside bit. Now you can go in with your fine liner and do all of the eye with that, but I quite like because it makes it look shiny in areas, more marbly. And this little bit here, and I don't know what that little bit is, but they do have that. As well, while you've got your fine liner out, if you want to give them some little, what they call, they're not antennae because that's what caterpillars have, but you know those little things that they have. So I'm going to do it coming out and round like that. And then another one maybe here, just a bit longer. My fine liner's running out. I would need to go back over that. I'll do that later. If you have your glittery gel pen, you don't have to, but I like these. And every now and again, just put a little bit in. You know that little line that we did coming up here? If you let it just... If you have it that you're not doing it as a solid line, it looks more glittery and a bit more realistic. And then the same at this side, so just little, or even just, if you want to do just little dots, and then just, and then some coming along the side. Yeah, can you see that? I quite like using them. And then as well, if you do have little gems, it's quite nice to put them in the wings as well. So just maybe one there, maybe put one there. There, can you see those? We've got a little bit of shine. It's hard to maybe see in this light. Right, so I said about using the dark sepia, if you have that. It's good to really darken up the brown, because it depends on what kind of colour you want your bee to be, because some of them are just more golden and others are quite black. So I'm going to burnish it as well, coming around this corner so that his head looks really dark. So if anybody is just watching for the first time, don't know what burnishing is, it's when you just press down really hard and all the colours that are underneath, they all blend together. And once you've burnished it, it's quite hard to add more layers on top. You can still do it, but you do a better job if you add lots of nice soft layers underneath and then press them all together. And then same here. How's everybody doing? I use the same sharpener. Oh, Rebecca, you use the same sharpener as well. Yeah, they are good. Has anybody managed to draw a little bee tonight with me so far? So just making it really, really dark. And then the same, if you want to come back in this bit down the bottom that I said about earlier, just keeping it at its darkest as well to make them look round. Making this bit in here dark so that you can see that that's a shadow coming down there. And of course you'll do the rest of his leg. You're trying, Rebecca. I'm sure you're doing great. Afraid not, as I came in late, but we'll go back and have a go. Yeah, Jackie, it'll be in my group for 24 hours. It'll just be live on this page for the hour, and then in the group for 24 hours, and then it'll be on my website for anybody who's a subscriber to do at any time. So hopefully you can see now, by doing your layers, you can start to really build them up. I'm going to go back to the lightest brown that I did, the Bister, and just add a little bit more colour here so that it's not just so stark and not just so white, but still lighter than the rest. What's everybody saying? You're drawing and colouring alongside, Stella. Ah, thank you. I hope you're doing all right, and I hope you can show me in the group. So I'm just going over the top where I've already been. Even though this is lighter on top of the darker, it just helps to build up all those layers. I'm coming back into his stripes, so going back to the lightest colour, the cream, and just adding a little bit more so it's not just so white down the bottom here. And then building up those again, so going back up the colours like what we did, so back to the chrome yellow, and just darkening that up. And once you've got quite a lot of layers on there and you're quite happy with the colours, you can start to burnish it, go down hard and seal them all in together. Oh, you're colouring as well, Melanie. Good. Ah, it's so nice to be back with you all. It's felt like a really long time, hasn't it? We'll have to get some Zooms going again, won't we? So I'm now burnishing this chrome one in. Do you see how it starts to make it look quite vibrant, but keeping it light where I want it. Down here still keeping it light, but up the top I'm starting to burnish, and I'm going to go back in over the top of that again with the dark orange. You've treated yourself to the jacquard. Oh, you've got the electric one. Mine's still just the manual one. Oh, hopefully it's good for you, Melanie. So going back in now over the top with this really dark chrome orange. And of course, you know, after you've done it the first time, the next time you do it, you'll probably feel more confident doing it, or you'll be more in the swing of doing it. So don't beat yourself up if it's your first time doing it and you're not happy with the result. It's all practice, and the more you colour, the better you get at it, and the more you get to know what you enjoy doing. Right, so I'm going to leave him there for now. I want to show you just how you can do the little bee with Dignity. Here's Dignity with her little bee. So this is Dignity here with a pale outline in the Heartfelt Girls, and this is what she looks like if I just get her original artwork. So that was the original artwork of Dignity, and then she's in the colouring set just as a pale outline. And the reason I did them all pale is so that you can go over the lines, blur the boundaries and create your own artwork from them. So what you can do with this particular one is you can rub out the pink so that you've got more control. So let me just show you. So with just a normal rubber, I'm rubbing her out from half. And I'm sorry if the camera's going to get all shaky because I'm doing it on the on this table. It's not great, but anyway, as you can see, if you press hard you can rub out those lines. And I did this earlier on the floor where I could get down and hard on it, but you can see now that I've rubbed out all that. Her flower's gone, I've rubbed away some of her hair, and now there's still a wee bit you can see, but once you start colouring it, you don't really see it. So what you can do is just change how she looks now. So instead of her arm going straight down like that, holding the flower, I'm now going to have her with a bee. So using my normal pencil, just going over that pale line that's already there, and then have her turning, her arm turning the corner. There's her elbow, and then maybe coming out like there. Now, because they're whimsical as well, you don't have to worry about them looking realistic or arms being too long or whatever. And then it just gets up into a little bit of a peak there, yeah. And then you just draw the bee in here. I'm just going to rub away some of her hair there. And actually I would maybe have her arm coming out a little bit longer so that she can hold her bee. So if you just imagine what you've already done, just this time you're going to do it smaller. Yeah, her arm needs to come out a bit further, so I'm just going to rub that out a little bit, so that it looks like she's going to catch the bee. But you can play around with that and get the right shape. It's just I'm trying to get it done quick. So we'll do the little eye. So it's a lot of a smaller scale than what we've just done. Then the head coming up and round. And then the body probably coming down around about there. Now this is fast and rushed, you know, so but you know, just you take your time. And then just coming around a bit like that. That's roughly the kind of shape that we did. And then the little leg coming down and then going all the way around. And then there's another leg. It'll come out here and all the way around. And then you just... And then you draw your stripes. And then you draw the wings. And then do what you've just done now with your colouring and drawing your sparkle and things. And then you can rub out all of her hair and make her hair different or whatever. Take away her wings. Roughly, that's it. And then if you just imagine colouring it, and then you'll get that. Yeah. So we'll go back to doing a few more layers with this bee because we've got 6 minutes still left. So I'm going to do a little bit of this leg. So going back to the bister. And again, just having a little area that's going to have a little bit of white in there. Hey, Weedy. Hello, Glenda. How are you? I hope you're well. And then, so there you've got that little bit of white in there that'll help the leg start to look like it's round and it's got a bit of shine on there. And again, just keep going over where you've been. And the more you go over it, the smoother it gets. And it starts to look shiny. And then having it at its darkest, so pressing hard and burnishing it just on that outside line. and down to that point. I'm going to use a little bit of black and just create a little bit more of a shadow in under that area. And bring some of that shadow up into his body as well. I mean, you can use your black to darken that little peak as well if you like. I'm just going to darken up his eye while I've got this black. So every time you go in, you can shine it up even more. So sometimes you think, all right, that's me done. But if you go back in again, you'll see that you can shine it up even more. And then just darken up around the bottom. I'm going to go back in with this one that we did at the very beginning, the burnt ochre, around his eye, and start to bring that out a little bit so that there's more colour there. And then again, pressing in hard, just outside the eye, just outside that pupil. And this is quite a nice one to bring into his legs as well. It's just nice to have a play. Also, this one is quite good along the top of his body, once you've got that orange on, to make it look like there's a bit of a shadow there. Just to darken it up. Same at the top here, so I just need to move position. And so just going back in with the browns. Got the walnut brown again, if I could find it. I think that's it. And then just going over it. Can you see when you do the orange coming off, it goes in? It looks quite nice. So just deciding on whether you want your bee really, really dark or quite light, and just layer it up accordingly. You can also, with this brown, if you want to put a few lines into the orange and then make it look that it's not all just like a straight line, you can do that at this point. So just a few little lines going in. Not lines, but just going over the line is what I should say. Just making it really dark on this bottom bit. Just keep emphasising that. And going back in again and again. Same in that little bit where it's going to be where the shadow is. Just keep darkening it up. You notice every time you put layers on, you start to lose where you might have emphasised it earlier on. So just be mindful of that, and then just keep going back to it. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed it. You felt relaxed. We've done quite a lot actually. Just keep darkening up this bit to make it look round as well. If it's darkest there on the outside, then that shine starts to look more like a shine as well. Alfie's girlfriend just said she sounds like you, Glenda. That's because we're from the same town, innit? Aww. I'm happy you've enjoyed it, Jackie. That's really nice to know. I hope you managed to get what you wanted. I hope you enjoyed it, and it'll help you to maybe go back and do one again on another occasion. They're quite nice little bees, aren't they? Okay then. So this this live won't be available on this page now. I'll put it in my group. I'm just adding a little bit more blue in the wing there. Put it into the group. It'll be there for 24 hours. So if anybody wants to catch up and try it again, can do that. And then of course for everybody who's a subscriber, it'll be in there all the time for you to just do whenever you like. Anyway, thank you for joining me. So what, Susie, thank you. Oh, that's good, Susie. I'm happy that you've enjoyed it. And Pat, I'm glad that you've enjoyed it. And Marie, please share them in the group. It's really nice to see what you've done. If you have any questions, just leave some questions and I shall try and answer them. Okay then, everybody. Lovely to see you again. We'll get something else done. Oh, yeah, we might do Nurture as a Halloween sort of girl. I've said rest in peace, sweet innocence. She's quite naughty, isn't she? Oh, thank you, Melanie and Rebecca and Heather. Great. I'm happy that you've all enjoyed it. I am going to go now. I'm going to make a wee cup of tea and I'm going to sit and watch something with Ashley. Thank you, Louise. Bye, everybody. Bye.